Go ahead and get it started. Halito Chukma, Osio, Wadu, you know. My mouth, you know, you ever bit your tongue or something, you get that little squirt like that. This stuff is so sweet, no sugar. This is coconut yogurt, 2 different types of cinnamon, Saigon and dark roast cinnamon. That cinnamon is what does it. With strawberries and raspberries, no blueberries today. I'll do that in my smoothie later this afternoon. But ni hao, because I had some Chinese visitors who hit me in my Gmail, and they were surprised. I was like, you don't know this history in your own land? So ni hao, if y'all come back. So the correction I want to make is, somebody asked me, says, Red, I can't find it. And I was like, oh, so you actually did the research. There's a reason why I said Nicholas V and Abe Lincoln were killed in the same week. Abe Lincoln was murdered a few weeks, 4 or 5 weeks after the end, the betrayal by Lee to Grant. And that's why I'm reading The Long Shadow, and I got the book that describes exactly what Lincoln looks like. It has a picture of him sitting beside this dark man with a curly fro. Yeah, well, he's not dark. He's probably a little darker than me. And they were killed in the same week. But one wasn't born. The other one was You know what I'm saying? Nikolai V was murdered by the Bolsheviks after the World War I. Are y'all paying attention? In the same week. But one was killed during Good Friday, the other one was murdered when? See, if you do the research, you will know this stuff. So when I expressed it to him, he went back and looked. He hit me back about, I would say, an hour and 20 minutes. He goes, dude, why you do it like that? I said, because we need to think. See, right now there's a thing being dismissive of the Bolsheviks being Jewish or Zionists who are anti-Semitic. Why would Jews be anti-Semitic? Are you aware what started that war? There was somebody being murdered over in Bosnia or Bosnia-Herzegovina. It was somebody from Germany. And he was murdered by who? Three shots murdered him on a visit. This is why I ask these questions, because people are always worried about content. Now you see everybody wants to talk about Tartaria. Excellent. I'm not looking for just desserts. It's the fact that most people weren't talking about none of it. I came across it because I'm an artist. I like to draw. I see the beauty in the things that beauty is supposed to be seen in, the importance of it too. There's certain other things that I've discussed, and now people are starting to pick up on it, and that's the thing that I love. Because see, where 3 or 4 may listen, 100 more may listen off of them, and 1,000 more off of them, and a million off of them, and so on. It takes one spark. And there's many sparks out here. Now, the other thing I wanted to make a correction. Somebody was like, well, you don't have no African in you, and blah, blah, blah. I said, wait. That's a misnomer, like black and white. I don't use these made-up terms by these fake aficionados. I'm surprised that all these niggas, these brothers and sisters running around using the enemy's narrative and acting like it's theirs. I don't care about them being Masonic and all these other rights and all this other dumb stuff. They're fooling themselves. They're doing more damage to themselves. I have a Germanic bloodline. The other day I met a family who met me 3 years in a row because of my client and shouts. They believe that I'm one of their long lost cousins because they have Native American stem terminology in their family. And they showed me, I saw them the other day. I wasn't going to talk about it. I said, well, why not? They showed me pictures. And I was like, holy smack. I got the same double chin. Look, and I was like, family's bigger than what you think. And I said, well, if anybody was to be African, they could be or could not be, because many pale skins were taken away too from here. And I told you that we had no Mongol as far as the people you see right now. If you can look at the old Arapaho, Cheyenne, and tribes, not the fake pictures, but you would see niggas sitting around them, the ones that fought. Now, they always want the pictures to be disturbed and minimalized. That's wrong. I'd be lying to say that there was no Mongols here, but they weren't named that. See, history has been rewritten to make division. The thing that angers me is all the new ones that came over in the 1920s, 40s who were put on reservations and set up, even Chinese, the new ones who went to conquer the land, played a major part in the fall of many societies and kingdoms, who sit up there in our face as if we don't know. I don't have respect for that. And nor do I have respect for the niggas who run around speaking hate and they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. I have a disdain for you. Because you're simple-minded. You really don't know nothing. You haven't been nowhere, but you don't know how to listen to those of us who have. Y'all, majority of y'all are brand new. You're green. That hate's not going to get you nowhere. To abstain, you need to abstain from your thoughts for a moment. Now, check this out. For those who getting on Tartaria, let's see if you're smart enough to know this. Why did Mark Twain, when he visited Russia, he says, I look up one street and down another street. I look around the towns and I see America. Why did he make that statement? In Russia, Prussia at the time. And then we'll go back on the Bolsheviks. Why did Mark Twain make that statement over in Russia? See, I've got a lot more stuff for Tartaria. The fact that dragons are real. Because you haven't seen one don't mean it's not. How many of you read the true readings of Bella and the Dragon? Where does it take place? It is steeped from the Mississippi, the bayou, the Louisianians, the French, and the construct of the Xi people that took them as pets during the Yang Dynasty and the Ming Dynasty. Why is y'all don't know this stuff? Now, back to the Bolsheviks. Right now, what the Zionists always want to do is write themselves out of anything that they've created as problematic. Yet, though you have the new, if you look at the 2019, 2016 compared to 1895 and when it was written, beside the Abkhazarians in World War I, 90% of those that fell were the Bolognese, the new Jews. So if that's the case, Prussia was comprised mostly of what? Just like Germany, the two bodies, Mongol and Mongol, desert rats, desert demons, who fighting beside the indigenous and later would betray them. The Aborigine. What did Malcolm say? You and I are Aborigine, but you don't want to be called Aborigine. It was ignorance. So the Bolsheviks, who murdered Nicholas V, as the Jews said, they were happy. The Bolognese. They were happy when Nicholas V, the mulatto, was murdered. When the Moors fled from Rome, Germania, Sweden, Denmark, Holland, yes, Scotland, Ireland. I wish somebody would come up try and fact check me. I'd tear one of these little Theosophical Society fake Hindu motherfuckers' asses up. So here we have a state of attrition, with a nefarious purpose, and you see it laid beside you and out in front of you. What are you going to do to change it? What are you going to do to construct a different narrative? Civil unrest, we're already at that. Civil war is imminent. I am not chanting it to bring it into, it could be another 10 years. But it is inevitable because the enemy is in a position that y'all don't want to change. Look at this. How is it that we go to school for 12 years and then you go to your job and not a goddamn thing you learned in school? It don't matter whether it's nursing or medical field. It doesn't matter if you're working in business management or corporate. Nothing you learned in school is going to help you. Don't give me the math stuff, please. I know people that didn't even go to school who are better at math than most mathematicians. Prove me wrong. I love all walks of life. What's disturbing is the state of affairs and the state of mental I would call it angst that we're in. And I've been there. And that's even with having a little bit of knowledge that I have. Yelling and hollering, and again, beating a dead horse in the head, it's not going to get you nowhere. It's not going to fix anything. It has no purpose. For those that love drama, you need to look in the mirror, and maybe you'll realize that drama is no good. But most people are afraid to look in the mirror. You know how many people's homes I've been in, they don't have mirrors in their homes? Oh, is that they have some phobias and some witchy pooey stuff, and it is very funny to say the least. But it's amazing how the brightest of bright. And yes, I am part German, but I'm also Kiowa and Chickasaw, 100% Chickasaw. I can't tell who the lady, who or whatever, but it didn't have that much effect. Not that much effect at all. My bloodline, even though most of us come from O negative, is O positive. So that could be some of the recessive that happened. But O negative and O positive are the oldest bloodlines on earth. And that's why you can find some pale skins with O positive. And those are the ones whose mammy and pappy probably changed their status from Negro and black to white. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I met a couple of people from Morocco who said they've been 17 generations apart from America. And they look like us. They don't look like Atrians and this, that, and the other. They look like, and I was sitting there looking at them like, you don't look like the other Moroccans. He's like, no. So we know who we are. English sounds, the language we speak, it sounds good. I was like, well, what's going on? We're vested here. Many of us here, bro. When I tell you I went to other countries and I saw and heard things and met and seen people, this reset they're doing has nothing to do with the resets of old. But see, on their fake reset, there's going to be a reset. It's going to shake the foundations of everything. It's going to be the last one. But I just wish y'all would just take a moment to have a little gander and pay attention. To put away all the shambles, to breathe. You know the post I did, to breathe. Now they're hiding it. Friends of mine saying, yeah, man, notification thing was there, but it wasn't on. I looked and it was all, and then all of a sudden it came on. I'm like, and then they sending me from Russia, Germany, all this porn stuff. I'm not looking at that stuff. I'm sitting there going, I send it right back. I made a post. Thank you, YouTube staff, algorithm, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I don't care. It just shows how deplorable. It alludes to the fact of who they are. And then they come watching. It's not going to stop nothing. I'm always going to share information as long as we're able and capable, whether it be on here or outside. I would just hope that you make the best of it. And I know that some people are like, why don't you? But trust me, I've sat down and I have a conversation for 6-7 hours with people, and they could barely remember one. So no, a little bit at a time. But you have to do the work, and then you have to find all the other beautiful tea out there. You have to find your own black rose. I can show you the red ones and some of the little blue and purple ones, maybe even a little white one. You got to find the black rose. There's a beautiful flower that blooms once every 6-7 years, and I think they call it the corpse flower. Majestic, and it stinks like any of y'all know what a dead a body that is in its final phases of decomposition, well, in its early stages of decomposition, excuse me. You know, that's a smell. Even now when I'm talking about, I can smell it. It's like the worst. I'm used to it though, and that's sad to say. It's not as bothersome as it was when I was 13. You know, seeing my first dead body, doing the little witch guard movie with the stick, and it's sticking right into it, like holy smack, and we were like tickled. But the smell was horrendous. Well, I've been sprayed with a skunk a couple times. Skunk ain't got nothing. I can bathe in skunk spray, but compared to that. But this flower is majestic. It's just like the Jericho rose. It looks dead. If y'all would only allow the amazement and wonderment of this earth, allow yourself to see these beautiful things. Do not ostracize yourself. Do not placate and remove yourself because of this world they've created. Actually, they created a world inside of a world, and you don't have to be part of it. It's delicioso. I just wanted to come on, make that correction, and share that little bit of information, that little bit of information that you can take and let you do something with it. I would appreciate y'all share this. I appreciate the likes and subscription. Make sure the notification bell is good. But I respect you all more than anything. I respect the fact that y'all come out of the divisive shadows of lies, and you'll start seeing your truth, because within you, within that DNA, all the answers inlay. The thing is not to convince yourself with the perversions to see yourself illuminate something that is dark. To be able to abstain and remove yourself from that and allow the things that have a purpose, not fictional. All right? Because we got to be careful. I'm always looking at things that I'm like, wait a minute. No. That's a lot of fiction there. Well, that's the term I use. It might be something else for you. And you'll start seeing things so different. Listen to me. I cannot say that I cannot express how you'll see things. Because if I do it, then, that means crazy. In this world we live in, I hate saying that world because it illuminates and makes you think round, right? Well, that's a false illumination. I'm just saying, the words we have been scripted and educated, right? Educated, manipulated, programmed. So I'm always listening to everything I say. And sometimes I have to, in my dialect, I have to retract. And I have to look at the abstract of it. That's just what I got to do. You know, sometimes I feel like Keenan was an Ivan Wine, whatever. The matriculation of the interpolation of the... I'll be like, wait a minute. Then I realize, wait a minute. We have been taught a lot of false things to have us stuck as if we're really something other than what we truly are. And I appreciate all walks of life. I saw these people arguing, right? Black woman. That little knucklehead Chicago guy. I hope he gets his head out his ass. Excuse my language. His ass. But sisters is on. And now, brother, is this the new? Y'all been programmed, so you're gonna take off on it? Man, shut up. There's about, to every one brother, there's 10 to 11 sisters. Now, if you can't find 1 or 2 good sisters out of them old jacked up ones, that's your problem. But if you want to be with an Asian or whatever, it's so what? So what? I'd prefer to have my sisters. Honestly, I just like looking at some chocolate. That's just me. I mean, I've been with a Puerto Rican that was very pale, and I've been with a Puerto Rican that was darker than me. An hour white. All right, my first wife. Yeah, looked like a sister, you know, Puerto Rican, Boricua, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, a lot of us Italian. You better believe that, regardless of the labels. You better believe that. Or even our white. Don't get it misconstrued because we all been all this separation and division. It's just foolishness. We were great seafarers, great swimmers. Atlantis is real. If that's the term you want to use, it was real. I'm telling you, there's great cities out there in the Pacific, as well as the Atlantic. The Atlantic, yes, y'all. Well known. Trust and trust in me. There's grand cities in that ocean. Okay? Yet, I sell them, all of them, over a decade. Problem is, most people don't know what love is. We have taken a word that has been misutilized by fake churches, fake religions, who always ostracize themselves because they show the nefarious agenda behind it, because they're set in stone. They're very deviant. And in our families, you know that it hurts me more than it hurts you, ass whooping. Or I love them, but I got the discipline. That has nothing to do with about what the word love is supposed to quantify. It's so perverse that if you don't know how to matriculate or articulate what love is, and not just verbiage but visual. Have you ever sat with your partner, your loved one, man with woman, woman with man? I ain't talking about that other stuff. And ever sit there and attempt to have a internal orgasm of appreciation with touch and sound, humming, and just knowing nobody else could see you and you wouldn't care, and be like, and it's so magical. I can't stand that word, but it's so enlightening. Have any of y'all ever done that? Have y'all done the eye to eye and got past the mask, where it's really ugly when you first do it? I mean, you literally look in the middle and you allow your eyes to become contact with each other. You see a whole other thing, and you practice it. You'll start looking at people and you'll make eye-to-eye contact. You won't even have no feelings, emotions. It's more of a supplement of reality. You'll start looking at people differently. You'll see past them when they're talking. Like when they're talking, you'll know when they're telling a fib. And your hairs will stand up when they're being honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. You gotta allow yourself to do something different for once. All right? So y'all share this. I appreciate you all. You know where I stand. I gotta go out to the range here shortly, so I got me some bread I made, semolina and sourdough. I let the sourdough sit up almost a week, y'all. But it's and that plant-based ghee with the cinnamon. I mean, not cinnamon. Garlic. Excuse me. I just made it. This is mine. Semolina. I just made it in a little lasagna tray I made. That's what I made it in. I let the sourdough sit up in heat for like about 4 days. But it's good. High in fiber. And it's got flax in it. See? There's flax all throughout it. See? A little flax bag. It's good to learn how to cook your own stuff with no flour, no all-purpose crap, all that nonsense. You can add oats to it if you want. I would prefer you to take the oats and take a knife and just cleaver and just chum, 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 chum. It's delicious. Oh, don't worry. I'll be having me a ribeye later. Don't get it twisted. I'm more positive. I know what my body can take. But look, y'all have a wonderful day. Who came in? Ray Wolf, what's happening? Lloyd, what's going on? Mr. Somebody, what's going on, EG? You live down the street from Mark Twain's home? No smack. You should go and take a picture of it, bro, and learn as much as you can about him. I want y'all to look into what was stated what I meant when I stated. He went over to Russia and he says, I look one straight, look one thing, and I see America. See, they destroyed all that which resembled Russia and Germany at one time, like France. Most of the buildings are still there. They're thousands of years old, Tartarian. There used to be the streets here all over. Oh yes, Atlanta, Florida. When they chopped down them great spruce trees down there, that stood over like 300-400 trees, and then Georgia too, and the swamps happened. No swamps weren't always there. You got any Negro talking about the swamp? Oh no. Wars and look. If the truth could sing out loud, everybody would be like, holy smack. I'm telling you, I showed pictures on Facebook and everybody wanted to debunk them, right? And I was like, that's Georgia, the swamp areas, where there were 34 breasts, Irishmen, with these big saws and chopping these trees that are now the swamps. Why do you think that the soil is so rich, even in the murky water with the gators, that the trees are growing out, and you can see the roots. The trees that were there were bigger than the ones in California, the redwood forest. You don't believe me? Am I not the one that showed you the little rainbow colored trees when they shed their bark? Am I not the one that said, hey, look, the only place where the gopher wood trees was here in America? What they got us calling America? The fact that we have 14 pine trees, more than anybody else, 7 medicinal and 7 you cannot use, the deadly. Harriet Beecher Stowe house is next door to Mark Twain. Yeah, I know about it. Yeah, I know. I've been over there. I actually went to his house back in 1988. They had a walkthrough. Is it still set up like that? With the roped off and everything like that? With his writing desk and all that? Remember the one with the accordion, the fold up? Bro. So I love it. I love that. But anyway, I want y'all to have a wonderful, blissful, grandiose day. I got everything packed up I need. Some stuff I'm gonna sell that I don't need. Rifle parts, you know. And y'all have a grand day, man. Y'all know I love you. And share this. Alright? Y'all have a grand day. I don't see no ladies in here, no. So gentlemen, and the ladies become, I know I had to tip, but you know what I mean.